Principles to Action Reflection, page 178 to 109 by Adam Duggan. Tools and Technology. We're starting off with Tools and Technology. An excellent math program uses tools and technology to help students learn math, understand math concepts, think logically, and communicate their ideas. Calculators are commonly used technology in mathematics classrooms, but technology is changing quickly. Smartphones and tablets with touchscreens are becoming more powerful and can do many of the same things as desktop computers. This makes it harder to tell the difference between advanced calculators made for math and other types of computers. One of the common jokes that is said these days is, what is something that was told to you in the classroom that turned out to not be true? And that was the old version of teachers saying, you need to learn the math. You're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. But yet now we have our computers or our phones in our pockets that have a pretty functioning working calculator. So that is something that we need to learn to integrate and understand when it comes to technology. So non-mathematical technologies and tools can also support interactions in mathematics classrooms, such as interactive whiteboards, document cameras, and web-based presentation applications. So here's some obstacles when it comes to tools and technology. Technology is useful for math only if students use it to learn math, think logically, and communicate their ideas. Watching computer presentation or tutorial with math facts and examples is not much different from watching a teacher write the same information on the whiteboard or chalkboard. It doesn't help the students understand math better. It just helps them look at it, memorize it, copy down what they just memorized, and move on. They don't get an understanding, a proficiency in that math. So an example of an unproductive belief when it comes to tools and technology is technology should be used primarily as a quick way to get correct answers to computations. So this is unproductive. Now here's an example of a productive belief that counteracts that same unproductive belief. Finding answers to a mathematical computation is not sufficient. Students need to understand whether an answer is reasonable and how the results apply to a given context. They also need to be able to understand the relative usefulness of a range of tools in particular contexts. So for example, if a student were to be typing in a complicated math problem into a calculator and they messed up at one or two digits along the way and they got some crazy answer, and if they don't understand that they don't understand and are proficient in the math that they are learning, they might accept this entirely wrong answer just because the calculator told them to. All right, so the next slide here, overcoming the obstacles. Physical and virtual manipulatives, as well as other concrete models, can help students visualize the mathematical relationships. Technology is important for many jobs that people might have when they grow up. Math classes should use technology to help teach math, right? I simplified that down as basic as I could, but I wanted to make it as important as it is. It's very important in the sense that math classes should use technology to help teach math because kids will use it in their jobs. So meaningful professional development for teachers that focus on mathematical specific uses of tools and technology is essential for their effective use in the classrooms. All right, so let's move on to assessment here. An excellent math program uses different ways to check how well students understand math. This helps teachers give feedback to students and improve the way they teach math. According to the NCTM, assessment should serve for 4 distinct functions in school mathematics. 1, monitoring students' progress. 2, making instructional decisions. 3, evaluating students' achievements. And 4, evaluating programs. Here's some obstacles. Assessment is supposed to help students learn math, but sometimes it makes it harder for them. This is because grading and rating schools and teachers has become more important than helping students understand math, right? Those TCAP tests, they seem to be more important on how good of a score they get versus the helping students understand the math and be proficient in it. They just put so much emphasis on those TCAP scores, and it stresses kids out, stresses parents out, and stresses teachers out. And it's just not good for anyone besides the politicians who like to wave around the test scores and show how well or how badly a school is doing. So sometimes schools make important decisions about students and teachers based on the results of one big test, for example, the TCAP. These decisions can include things like what classes students should take or whether teachers get to keep their jobs, which, man, that is so stressful to have your entire job, your livelihood, your family security on the line based on how well students do on one particular test. I guess that's just an insane amount of stress for no real reason. So an example of unproductive belief. The primary purpose of assessment is accountability for students through report card, marks, or grades. That's unproductive, right? It shouldn't just be through report cards, marks, or report card marks or grades. It should be, and here's a productive belief to counter that unproductive belief. The primary purpose of assessment is to inform and improve the teaching and learning of mathematics, and not just for the students, but for the teachers as well. Overcome these obstacles. Good tests help students learn math by giving teachers and students useful information about what they know and what they need to learn next. The tests are designed to match the students to match what the students are supposed to learn, and they use the information from the test to help teachers plan what to teach next. Assessing conceptual understanding, reasoning, and procedural fluency requires the use of tasks and methods designed for those purposes. Assessment is about helping students learn. It's not to stress them out. One way to do this is by teaching students how to look at their own work and see what they did well and what they need to do to work on. This helps them do better in the future. So moving to action, how can we fix this? Okay, so making sure students learn math is more important than grading them, right? Key concept. Teachers and school leaders need to use better tests to help students learn math. Policymakers can make sure tests show how well students understand all parts of math. And using tests to help students learn is a good way to teach math and cheaper than other ways to improving math. All right, next slide. Here we go. Professionalism. Good math teachers make sure every student learns math and helps other teachers learn how to teach math better. Teachers who teach math always want to do better and help their students learn more. They keep learning themselves so they can teach better, right? We're always improving. As math teachers, we're not only working to improve the kids' understanding of math, but ourselves as well. So, and this isn't just me saying this. The Conference Board of Mathematical Sciences, CBMS 2012, has emphasized the importance of teachers of mathematics at all levels continuing to deepen their mathematical knowledge for teaching throughout their careers. Here's some obstacles for professionalism. Sometimes teachers work alone and don't talk to other teachers. Like they like to have that isolation sort of hermit lifestyle. And this makes it harder for them to help students learn math. When teachers work alone, they might teach things differently. All right, that isolation, that makes it harder to learn new things and new developments when it comes to mathematical skills and teaching. This can make it harder for some students to learn math. So effective professional development programs promote the growth of math teachers in 4 major areas. Teachers' mathematical knowledge and their capacity to use and practice. Teachers' capacity to notice, analyze, and respond to students' thinking. Teachers' belief and dispositions that foster their continued learning. And teachers' collegial relationships and learning structures that can support and sustain their learning. Overcoming the obstacles of bad professionalism, of being professional but in a more isolated sort of term. So good schools help teachers learn how to teach math better by giving them time to work together and by having coaches in schools to help them. Mike Schmorker, 2006, noted that professional learning communities have emerged as arguably the best, most agreed upon means by which to continually improve instruction and student performance. The occurrence of the research community on this approach is quite remarkable. That's page 106 in his book. Math teachers should work together to teach math better. All right, we should be a community. We shouldn't be isolated. This can also help. Get help from a math coach or specialist who knows a lot about math and can help teachers teach better. So not just with other math teachers, but with a math coach as well, who can help us become better math teachers by learning from a math coach's experience. Okay, so in conclusion, tools and technology, assessment and professionalism are all part of the puzzle that when addressed and improved upon by a good mathematics teacher turns them into a great mathematics teacher.